Lore. Love it or hate it, it's a part of nearly everything, even stuff that isn't supposed to have it. For Clash Royale and the surrounding Clash universe, the games don't have a story, it's just screwing around in an arena or a village. However, many card descriptions, loading screen tips, the Clash Royale wiki, and Clashorama give us a pretty good look at the characters and this world's backstory. Today, we'll cover a bit of lore or some facts about every single card in Clash Royale. Yes, I know Havoc Gaming did a video like this, but that was 2 years ago, so some new cards have come out since then, and I'll try to find some new facts that he didn't cover. If you want me to cover Clash of Clans, suggest it in the comment section down below or like and subscribe. The Knight is the Barbarian's cousin. However, a slightly more obscure fact is that in the Dutch version of the game, the Knight is apparently the Barbarian's nephew. The Evolution Knight is relatively new, but according to the card's voice actor, the Evo Knight has a French accent. The bow used by the archers is a recurve bow, which is one of the main bow shapes, and is pretty prominent in most video games. The best example I can think of was the Traveler's Bow from Breath of the Wild, but Skyrim also has quite a few recurve bows. The Evo archers are trained by the Archer Queen herself, and they are her personal sharpshooters. They're also initially revealed with a feet pic on Twitter of all things. The social media guys knew what they're doing. The goblins are pretty boring, but in Clash of Clans they are led by the infamous Goblin King, who is rumored to be a hero in that game, but sadly has never become one. Also, in the Vietnamese version of Clash Royale, the goblins are referred to as leprechauns. The word unarmored in the minion's bio was a hint to the Mega Minion, which is an armored version of the minion. According to the Art of Supercell, the giant was originally supposed to be blue. Unfortunately, I don't own the book and I couldn't find any proof of this, as this is just something on the wiki page with no sources, so take this one with a grain of salt. The Musketeer is likely the fourth Musketeer, which would be a reference to the French novel The Three Musketeers, which would be referencing D'Artagnan, who wasn't officially considered to be part of the Three Musketeer group, but is still a Musketeer. A Clashorama episode also includes a plot about a lone musketeer attempting to join the Three Musketeers, so this reference is quite likely. The Mini P.E.K.K.A.'s gender is unknown, with a commercial referring to it as a he, and a Clash of Clans Facebook post referring to it as a she. The Vietnamese version of Clash Royale refers to the spear goblins as spear-throwing leprechauns. The Goblin Hut originated from Clash of Clans single-player campaign, where they acted as a fodder building. The description also implies something strange goes on in the hut to create the goblins, which I do not want to know what it is. The Goblin Brawler skips leg day. Simple enough. The arrows is called the Rain of Arrows in the Japanese and Vietnamese versions of the game. The first part of Fireball's description references an old Clash of Clans commercial where the wizard says this.
And Fireball.
This may imply that the wizard summons the fireball. A very famous skeleton is Larry, who originated from a Clash of Clans commercial. The description of the Evo skeletons imply that they round out a room in Spooky Town, aka Arena 12, which is why there's so many skeletons that can spawn from the card. The Bomber is a wall breaker who learned that he could do a lot more damage by throwing the bomb rather than sitting next to it. Unlike Norse Valkyries who carry Dead Souls of Valhalla on horseback, the Clash Valkyrie is just some person with an axe. The tombstone was inspired by the Halloween headstone obstacle from Clash of Clans. The Barbarians appear to have a career path, as shown by Clashorama comic, starting with a Barrel Barbarian and working up to the Elite Barbarians. The Evil Barbarians are just the Super Barbarians from Clash of Clans, and were a part of the Clash Royale game icon for a few months to celebrate the Evolution update. The Star Level 2 cannon resembles a Level 7 cannon from Clash of Clans, and the 3-star leveled cannon resembles a Level 10 cannon. The Battle Ram inspired a temporary troop in Clash of Clans, which then became a permanent troop in the Clan Capital mode. The Mega Minion's weakness is cupcakes. Whether this is something like Mouse from Jumanji, or he just likes cupcakes has yet to be seen. The Fire Spirits appear to be living coal, and is used like coal in the Lost and Crowned. And it is also used by the Flame Flinger in the Clash of Clans. The Skeleton Dragons resemble dragons from European cultures. That's it. These guys are really boring. The Electro Spirit appears to be summoned by the Electro Giant in the Electro Giant trailer, but it's just maybe to look cool. The Wizard has a giant afro underneath the hood, which is best shown in the Clash of Clans commercial and the Party Wizard. The Inferno Tower appears to be inspired by the Eye of Sauron from the popular book series The Lord of the Rings. The guy on the bomb tower is a bomber, who would have guessed. The bats are based off a real-life bat species, Desmodus rotundus, aka the common vampire bat. The evolved bats are confirmed to be vampire bats in their description and play off the trope that vampires suck the life force of their enemies to feed themselves. In the Korean version of the game, the mortar translates to mine thrower, despite not throwing bombs, just simple rocks. The Evo mortar was based on an April Fool's update given to content creators where the mortar would shoot goblin barrels rather than boulders. This mechanic was likely also inspired by the Barbarian launcher, a temporary troop early into the game's life. Both the Zap and Lightning spells are based on the Lightning spell from Clash of Clans. Originally, the Lightning worked similar to the Lightning spell, costing 2 housing space and summoning lightning randomly in the area, whereas nowadays it's only 1 housing space and functions like the Zap, 1 smaller lightning bolt. The design of the Lightning and Zap bottles also reflects this. Hog Rider has a golden beard in the Star Level trailer, but it is sadly changed to only be his mohawk in-game. The Flying Machine is a creation of the Master Builder, and is even piloted by the Master Builder. What's more, you can see parts of the Flying Machine in Builder Base from Clash of Clans, and this card possibly inspired the Battlecopter, which became a hero in that mode. The only thing interesting I could find about the Rock is that its hull looks a bit like the Goblin Barrel. Although pretty well known, the PEKKA stands for the Perfectly Enraged Night Killer of Assassins, although in my opinion that's not a very great name. The Witch is the Night Witch's sister, although they don't seem to get along the greatest, as shown in Clash-O-Rama, due to them liking different creatures. The names of all the skeletons in the Skeleton Army are Larry, Harry, Jerry, Terry, Mary, Barry, Cherry, Carrie, Fairy, Scary, Sherry, Gary, McClary, Huckleberry, and Doot/Ladoot. The Doot is based off of the skeleton trumpet meme. The Baby Dragon is a babyfied version of the dragon from Clash of Clans, which was supposed to be in Clash Royale, but it was too big. This troop eventually became a troop in Clash of Clans, though. The guards are 3 brothers, and in The Lost and Crowned, we get to see an unnamed guard guard the Red King. Despite being a royal, the Royal Giant has less hit points and is less rare than the bog standard giant. The Goblin Barrel is called the Leprechaun Box in Vietnamese. I just love how everything in Vietnamese is leprechaun. The Evo Royal Giant is apparently so rich that he can only fire golden cannonballs. The Royal Recruit's dream is to ride a pony and wear a metal bucket, which is obviously talking about the Dark Prince. Whether this means that recruits can be promoted to princes, or if it's a different part of the King's army is yet to be seen. The Evo recruits learned their charge ability from the prince after taking lessons from him. The Three Musketeers is a reference to an old French book of the same name. The Royal Hogs didn't have much. All I could find is that they were the king's pets and they like apples. Balloons are piloted by promoted wall breakers. It's ironic though, since wall breakers die if they do their job right. The grill plate on both the Prince and Mega Minion appear very similar. Could this be hinting that the Mega Minion stole the Prince's helmet? The Dark Prince is Prince's brother, and they ride the same breed of pony. It's also notable that the Prince and Dark Prince share the same voice lines, only Dark Princes are muffled because of the helmet. He also has brown hair, as shown by the Little Prince trailer. The Ice Spirit's description references this freeze spell from Clash of Clans, but there sadly isn't any real lore about the Ice Spirit. Sadly, most spells are pretty boring. Giant Snowball is known as the Huge Snowball in other languages. Hooray! The Ice Golem appears to be the baby equivalent of the Clash of Clans Ice Golem, as he is much smaller, only slows enemies upon death. His description also implies that he isn't all ice, which likely explains his weird back. A loading screen tip states that the Battle Healer's older sister can heal entire villages, which is referencing the healer from Clash of Clans. The bomb the giant skeleton carries is the giant bomb from Clash of Clans, with the barrel on his back being a chunk of the bomb, although it's never used. The freeze is a 2 housing space jar rather than the 1 housing space it is in Clash of Clans. The Goblin Gang is known as the Leprechaun Gang in the Vietnamese version of the game. The Skeleton Barrel is a combination of a few things from Clash of Clans, notably the air bomb and dropship. It shares the mechanics of the dropship and the balloons of the air bomb. Nowadays, the Skeleton Barrel is in Clash of Clans full-time as a clan capital troop. The Dark Goblin is always chewing double trouble gum, even while shooting darts. He is able to do this because of didgeridoo lessons. The Barbarian Hut resembles the barracks from Clash of Clans, although they are quite different. In a loading screen hint, it states that someone told the Goblin Giant the world was gonna roll him. This is an obvious reference to the song All-Star, which if you take it one step further, is well known for this. which is referencing the fact that the Goblin Giant looks like Shrek. The poison resembles a real-life chemical, bromine, which is a rapidly evaporating liquid at room temperature, just like how it's shown. It's also probably deadly as it's a halogen. The Barbarian Barrel is the same barrel the goblins used. In Clash of Clans, minions appear to spit out rocks as a projectile, whereas in Clash Royale, they throw the projectiles. It's also confirmed that the projectiles built up Dark Elixir. The Elite Barbarians are high-level barbarians from Clash of Clans, and they are on top of the Elite Barbarian career path. They also get cool football helmets in touchdown mode for some reason. Both the Tesla and Zappies are creations of the Master Builder from Clash of Clans, with the Zappies even being added as defensive troops in Builder Base. The Tesla also lacks the signature stun ability that electrical attacks usually have, likely for balancing purposes. The Furnace is either fueled by fire spirits or it creates them. Either way, it makes some good pancakes. The Golem has a literal heart of stone. Who would have guessed? The Hunter is based off a character from Brawl Stars, that being Shelly. I've never played Brawl Stars, so I can't really say much else. It's unknown whether the X-Bow is pronounced X-Bow or Crossbow, as the X could stand for cross. There wasn't anything about Miner, although even the devs have acknowledged the claims to nerf Miner, in one of the most well-known Clash Royale memes. Sparky is seemingly sentient and has feelings, since she dislikes being called a trash can on wheels. She is also likely a creation of the Master Builder due to similarities in design to the Zappies. The Inferno Dragon is just a baby dragon with extra gear. It is also likely filled by Dark Elixir from the barrel on its back, which explains the power-up. The Electro Dragon is the Electro Wizard's personal pet. The Ram Rider is the Hog Rider's sister, who apparently couldn't ride a hog. The princess is friends with the Ram Rider, as shown in The Lost and Crowned. She also had a star level shown off in a star level trailer that never made it into the final game. At one point, the Meg Knight was speculated to be the Builder from Clash of Clans, since he came out when the Builder wasn't in Clash of Clans because of some event, and their faces look similar. This has since been disproven, leaving the Meg Knight's identity a mystery. The Log is a victim of the Lumberjack, being a tree he cut down and accidentally spilled some rage on. The Firecracker is just a bored archer who somehow created a bazooka and began firing it. Additionally, the Evo Firecracker is just a firecracker who went emo, just wanting to see the world burn. The Earthquake is the only thing that can damage a hidden Tesla while underground, due to being an earthquake. Despite being normal wall breakers, the wall breakers use the explosive barrels that the super wall breakers use rather than normal bombs that wall breakers use. The Electro Dragon is a baby version of the Electro Dragon from Clash of Clans. The Ice Wizard's description implies that TVs exist in the Clash universe, possibly broadcasting the battles in the arena. The Royal Ghost is a dead king, and in Clash-O-Rama we get to see a Royal Ghost in the Royal Crypt arena after he died losing a match. The Phoenix is based off of Phoenix. Who would have guessed? The jingle that plays while summoning the graveyard is a part of the Clash of Clans battle theme. Heal Spirit is the replacement for the only card that has ever been removed from the game, the Heal spell. The description even acknowledges the heal, and even the fact that it had awful use rates. It is speculated that the bowler is a goblin who drank Dark Elixir to grow in size, and has a fascination with bowling. The Electro Giant is just a giant who has donned a special Zap Pack, possibly made by the Master Builder. I couldn't find anything worth mentioning for Lava Hound. I guess it's based off of Basset Hound, though. Bandit's real name is Juno. The magic archer speaks Chinese. The Royal Delivery was based on a card concept called the Bone Bomb, which exploded after a short time and released 2 guards. The Elixir Golem was designed after a scrapped Clash of Clans concept that was too complicated to learn. It was then teased in the April Fool's image before finally coming to the game. The Executioner's real name is Falche. In the Fisherman trailer, we get to see that the Rascal Boy is bald. Also, the Rascal Girls chew Double Trouble Gum, the same gum chewed by the Dark Goblin. The Goblin Drill was likely based off the Clash-O-Rama episode Goblins 11, where a group of goblins steal elixir using a Dark Elixir drill. The Lumberjack is possibly related to the Barbarians and Knight, with them having similar hair color and designs, and even sharing the same voice actor. The Night Witch is the Witch's sister, although they don't get along since they prefer different creatures. The Elixir Collector resembles the level 5 Elixir Collector from Clash of Clans. The Cannon Card is yet another creation of the Master Builder, being a decent troop in Builder Base. It functions the exact same as the old cannon cards from Builder Base 1.0. The Tornado spell was originally a butterfly spell, referencing how the P.E.K.K.A gets distracted by butterflies. This was changed to a tornado due to visual issues though. The fish the fisherman holds is a European bass, which is a common fish in Europe. The Mother Witch is possibly the mother or grandmother of the Witch Sisters, and she bakes some good cookies according to her description. People have joked that the Skeleton King is Larry, who somehow became king after years of training or something. This is unlikely, although it is funny that people call every skeleton Larry. The Golden Knight is well known for his hair, even being banned from wearing helmets because it's just too good. Too bad the Golden Knight is an awful card. Archer Queen is the only champion to originate from Clash of Clans, and she wields a modified X-Bow. The Mighty Miner is the only champion not to be recruited through a royal recruit delivering a scroll. Rather, a normal miner stumbles upon the Mighty Miner and recruits him instead. The Monk resembles an elderly Hog Rider, and in the books of Clash season, the art depicts Monk, Hog Rider, and Ram Rider reading a book, seemingly implying that the monk is related to them in some way. The Little Prince is the king's nephew who cheated his way into the arena after stealing the champion invitation scroll in his trailer. Well, that's one lore fact or fun fact about every card in Clash Royale, minus Mirror and Clone. They weren't on the list since they had absolutely nothing. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want more Clash content, or if you want me to do Clash of Clans as well. Have a great day and see you guys next time.